Hi, I'm Kyle, the host of The Garage. If you have stumbled across my page, you probably had somebody tell you, hey, this is a place to go learn how to tune, or if you want to learn HP tuners, go check out. If you want to learn HP tuners, go check out. If you want to learn HP tuners, go check out.
Okay, hold on.
If you want to learn HP tuners, go check out.
Okay, hold on.
If you want to learn HP tuners, go check out.
Well, I got some weird. Do you hear that background loop playing right now?
If you want to learn HP tuners, go check out.
Well, I got some weird. That background loop playing right now?
If you want to learn HP tuners, go check out.
You guys, can you hear that noise right here? That background loop playing right now?
If you want to learn HP tuners, go check out.
You guys, can you hear that noise right here? I'm talking about, can you hear me talking in the back?
If you want to learn HP tuners.
Okay. Should have stopped. We should be good to go. And the funny thing is the stream is showing the old showing the old chat box. Okay. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the garage. And as I said, the stream is showing the old chat box. Let's just make that go away for now. Sorry about all of the difficulties. YouTube has been a pain today. I tried to set it up to stream, but YouTube's interface for streaming has been messed up all day. I've not been able to get the stream set up properly. I was worried that it was going to mess up whenever we tried to start the stream tonight, and lo and behold, sure enough, it did. It was all messed up. We've got like 3 streams going out there. The other ones should hopefully be gone now, but thank you for bearing with me as always, guys. I apologize. Every day is an adventure whenever you're trying to produce a live show. But it looks like it is popping up properly now. Some weird stuff may be happening. Bums me out that the chat is not showing up properly, though. Not going to worry about that. Okay, so that being said, thank you for everybody that has showed up. Looks like chat's working with the correct stream based on all of the yays, hays, and everything else. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Let me go ahead and get the shout out to the new patrons out of the way this week. We've got Ben, Jay, Rick, Mike, Jonathan, and Kenny. Oh, and Jake. Thank you, everybody, for the support. I appreciate it as always. You guys are the greatest. What is going on? We got a lot of familiar faces in here. I appreciate, and the number just updated, so maybe nope. There. Okay. Now our chat is catching up on the screen. I think we are good to go now. So that being said, welcome back to another week, another Thursday night, everybody. Steve, you probably lost it. I lost it. Yeah, I'm not sure. As I said, for some reason, the interface that they've got this new, I think it's still in beta, and it just was not working today. It was stalling out, saying that it was failing, and like I created multiple streams today, even though it kept on saying it was failing. Looks like my CPU's settling down, so hopefully it doesn't sound like we're in a wind tunnel anymore. So that being said, awesome. Glad to hear it, man. Glad to hear it. I don't even know what I was doing. Something. I got distracted as usual. What's going on, everybody? Fill me in. What's new? I see Justin has taken a break to come in and check everything out. That being said, Dude, Jeff, yes, you're right. That being said has turned into something that I say without even thinking about it. Bugs me. I'm going to have to start thinking about it so I don't say it as much. This has got lots of snow. Jay says YouTube is rating a bit lean. A lot of detonation today, Jay. Brew2L asks, what's the best way to combat a surging idle and open loop with Tuner Studio, Foxbody, HCI? Make sure your timing's steady, Brew2L. Brutal, I guess I should say. Danderson, changing the knock sensors, knock during PE went away. Good to hear it, Danderson. Yeah, Jeff, I know it's a platform issue. Jay got his fuel lines fixed, finished on the Camaro. Awesome. Good to hear, Michael. Yeah, William, there was some technical difficulties. We got some people trickling in. Thanks, Brutal. Appreciate it. I've been checking out your channel. I gotta dig into it a little bit more. Kyle Nunnally says, what's the best cam for a 5.3 for tech in a 05 Sierra? Depends on what you're trying to do, Kyle. D-Money Garage, have you done a video on Gen 5 tune start to finish? D-Money, there are multiple videos out there specifically on the different stages of 5th Gen. Go to the playlist. There's a 5th Gen playlist that'll get you started. It goes hand in hand with the general HP Tuners playlist. D&Z's got his 300300 on the way. Awesome to hear, brother. Budget says, want to give you a plug in one of my videos. What's the best way to do that? Just tell them to go check out the garage. Tuning101.com, man. Honestly, that would tuning101.com takes you right to our YouTube homepage. It's the easiest way to share the information. Jeremy says his Gen 5 truck idle games with the Whipple and Big Kim makes me want to go back to stock. Yeah, you're fighting torque, man. John blew up his Silverado. What happened, John? Tomic got his Draggy in the mail today. Awesome, man. Share some of it. David, looking to put a turbo 9657. Any tips, info on how much power that engine can handle? 9657s, you're out of my element, David, but there's probably some dudes in here, or dudettes, that know more about the 5.7s and what they're able to handle. William says, that the go-to wideband right now? That's, yeah, the 300300, if you want to gauge, is probably the preferred because it has a serial now. If you're on a 2008 or later that has the CAN bus, the AEM CAN one is pretty stud. Has a little bit of a faster rate. Corey says, hopefully put 373s back in the Turbo Silverado. 430s are too much. Brother, I have been there. I had 456s in my Silverado whenever I put the supercharger on, and you want to talk about too much. Talk about blowing the tires off in every gear. Sorry to hear that, Zero. Thanks, Brutal. Appreciate it, brother. Steve says, finally started the tuning process with MAF tuning. When I was done, I was going to run on the MAF, but had a stumble right off idle. Steve, yeah, and you have to realize that the stumble right off idle is probably a transient issue, and that is why the speed density table or the VE table is there, is for the transient stuff. So if you're having stumble issues, I would suggest dialing in at least the bottom area of the VE table and then lowering where your MAF takes over. And just try to get a little bit of the volumetric efficiency in there to help with that, because it is predictive. The volumetric efficiency is kind of one step ahead, and then it blends with the math for dynamic airflow. John says, just blew out a head gasket. Pushed her a little too hard. Lathan, somebody else hit me up recently about tuning Tundra. Oh, Dirt Floor starting it out with a smoky $20 burnout right off the bat. Thank you as always, brother. I don't know what I'd do without Dirt Floor. He's my boy. Biker Boy says, so after 3 weeks of replacing another engine, pulling the trans out, in and out 4 times, been there, done that. I got my swap running today. Good. Ryan Wideband says 0.98 still struggles to run. That is weird at 0.98. I mean, you should be able to putt around. Might have some, you know, obviously if you read 0.98 in power enrichment, you're definitely going to have some problems. But Outwoods Garage, been enjoying the videos. Used Mega Squirt and old school GM stuff over the years. Latest is adapting a 5.3 PCM to a 1UZ. Awesome. Keep us posted on that. Outwood sounds cool. Izzy G, I look at all your videos, but I'm not running HP tuners. I'm running UpRev and trying to understand, take what I can. No one wants to share the game. Man, you know, Izzy, I'm glad to hear that somebody's in here running a different platform. Honestly, as I said, the basics are the same. Spark, air fuel, all that stuff. It's just finding out and then deciphering it how it is on your platform. So, you know, eventually I would love to get into a whole bunch of other stuff down the road, but we're still kind of building the foundation here. So, who knows? Maybe in the future. Scuba Sam had to drag you for almost a year now. It's been great. Be careful of heat with them. The battery will puff. Good to know, man. So don't leave it on the dash. Anthony, glad to see you made it, brother. Global Media Inc. Correct. Shout out to Nitrous Express and Snow Performance, our new sponsors. If you haven't seen the new video, it posted up today. We go over the nitrous kit that we're throwing on Project Country Club, and there will be another video out this week doing kind of the hardware, the bottle install, running the tubes, or running the line, and the solenoid. So there's going to be a multi-session video coming out. Then, of course, another shout out to ADM. We are finalizing the supercharger setup for the Super Auto. I got the 15 by 10 inch wheels in, so I'm going to be doing a video seeing how wide of a tire, seeing whether or not we can get a 13.5 back underneath the back of the truck without having to jack it up and make it too stiff back there. But I would really like to run a 13.5 back there. Bubblegum and Shoestring says, want to do a cam on my 06 Trailblazer. I have HP tuners. What all do I have to mess with? Honestly, Bubblegum, the big thing is after you do a cam, you're just going to have to adjust your airflow tables because you're going to have different dynamics on the breathing thanks to the new cam. So it's basic. Just go through the basic tuning steps. Anthony says, so I'm getting close with the AFR. When should I reintroduce the O2 sensors? Good question. And would you still recommend putting the MAF back in after SD tuning? Yeah, I like the MAF. The MAF's, you know, honestly one of the preferred ways to go. But as far as reintroducing the O2 sensors, if you get within 5% error, you're probably there. So just go ahead. Turn them back on. Let them do the corrections down low. Big thing is you got to remember that the narrowband O2 sensors are not making corrections in power enrichment. So keep an eye on your power enrichment. Make sure it's still rich enough there. Matt, welcome, brother. 2013 CTS-V. That's what I'm talking about. Paul H says, lower the numbers on the VE table to make it richer. No, volumetric efficiency is going to be basically you're measuring the amount of air, so you want to make it higher, saying that you have more air, which in turn will make it richer. John says, I've got a question for a future build. If I turbo my truck, can I tune it for low boost and high boost at the same time? Keeping it low for tooling around and crank it up when I want to get stupid. Yes, you can, John, because you got to realize that whenever you're in boost, you're reaching new areas of your volumetric efficiency map and your MAF sensor. So basically, low boost should work. And then whenever you do dial in the high boost, you know, just tune it for high boost, then lower the boost. Steve says, when the video of the North Star blowing up for the 300 shot? The North Star is not going to make it to the 300 shot, Steve. To be honest with you, because A, I'm not going to gap the rings. So if we threw a 300 in there, it would definitely blow up. But I will be anxious to see if the 5L50 makes it past maybe 125. Vincent says, I have a 5.3 with a Holley high rise, 102 throttle body, 3200 stall. What size fuel injectors you recommend? Depends. I mean, Vincent, what are your plans beyond that? And what kind of duty cycle are you running on what injectors do you have now? Hey, Lynn Twin, welcome back. Dude, Jet Black, me too, brother. Good find on that one. Mike says, want to dyno tune the CTSV, think it's better. No, I am generally against dyno tunes because dyno tunes, they just kind of shoot for max power under wide open throttle. So drivability often is not the best unless you meet somebody that does dyno tuning properly. There's guys out there that will do dyno tuning properly. I've got a video saying go in and ask these questions and get the right answers. Lynn, you are correct. The North Star is lucky it's still running. Hey, Sean, welcome back, brother. Nick says, how to tune for idle surge on a bigger 92mm cable throttle body on a Gen 3. You're outside of my area, man, Nick. I haven't done cable throttle body stuff in so long. Oh, Sean, good idea. I haven't started a raffle. You guys want a raffle? Give me a second. I'll start up a raffle here. I had it all loaded up, then I had to close out my windows because it was doing some crazy stuff. Street tuning for the street tuning for daily, dyno for the track. Street tuning for everything, dyno for the track. Just be careful about street tuning for the track. Okay, let's see here. Doop-a-doop-doop-doop. And raffle is started. Should be able to go ahead and join now. Vincent, you've got 42 injectors, 42-pound injectors now. Look at your duty cycle. See how close you're getting to the 80%. And then just kind of do an estimation from there. Figure out how much power you're trying to make at the end. And just bump it up in percentages, you know. Or just throw 80s in there and be done with it. Might have some drivability on the bottom end. Eric Van says, after getting the VE table correct, I introduced O2s and it starts raining rich. Make sure that you're resetting your long-term fuel trims, Eric, because you will have old numbers in there from before you started tuning. And it will throw them off until they relearn. So restart them from the get-go and let them start learning again. And there is the raffle puke. I got a whole new batch of the koozies in, including a sweet orange, which we've never done before. So if you are a new patron and you've not gotten your koozie, and some of you other guys are probably waiting on koozies, they are on the way. But I literally ran out of koozies, ran out of decals, ran out of all kinds of stuff. So, and I have been shopping for hats. Thank you, JD Customs. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your comments, man. I've been seeing them out there. Well, even on the cable throttle bodies, right, you're going to have idle air control. Correct me if I'm wrong, people, because I don't know it on the old cable throttle bodies. But if you do, you want to log idle air control, see where it's at. I wish Randy was in here. Is Randy's a cable? Well, Scuba, thank you for your support. William, get stickers at the GoatRoadGarage.com site. And then we're doing a merch pack right now, so if you win this merch pack, you'll get some decals. Thanks, Zeth. I appreciate it, man. That's really a good reference to go and check out how to dial in idle for the older stuff. Bingo. That's what I thought. And honestly, I helped him walk through getting that one sorted out. And so I love Randy's channel. Surprised he's not in here. He's probably busy doing something tonight. Hey, Ramblin' Rambo. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry your break's almost over, man. Appreciate you taking the time to join us, though. Yeah, and honestly, if you want to get to Lowbuck's page, or Dirt Floors for that matter, if you go to Tuning 101 on the right-hand side, there will be links to both of their YouTube in the Friends of the Garage section. John, you're going to have to knock that out, man. Tell them that you got better stuff to do. You got tuning stuff to do. I'm glad somebody said something. I would have forgot to start the raffle. We can't have that. I got to send out free stuff. There you go. And if that's not the one, just dig around on Lowbuck LS's channel. You'll find a couple in there where he talks about idle. Elwood's Garage, yes. Coil dwell time is adjustable with HP tuners. What's going on, Demonic? That's a cool idea, Atwood. Report back, let us know how it goes. RCODEA, I have a Stump the Dummy question. Gen 4 LS3 drive-by-wire. Getting a P2135 TSP, half disagree. Yep, 1-2 disagree. Volts seem to be right. 0.5 to 4.5, blah, blah, blah. But percentage is way off, 99 versus 38. Any ideas on possible issues? Are you... Okay, so... Arcodia... RC. I'm just going to call you RC. Listen, 2135 is common, especially if you have a throttle body that is not standard to that platform. So I'm going to tell you, probably your best bet is to just disable that DTC and ignore it. If it were way off, are you going into limp mode? Let me ask you that. You might be going into limp mode. That could be a different problem. If you get the reduced power mode, you might be having an issue there. But the question is, based on the platform that you're on, is the scaling correct for the volts? Because not all of them go from 0.5 to 4.5 and then 4.5 to 0.5. Some of them track together. And that might be an issue that you're seeing also. Danderson, I went and saw one of the C8s last weekend. I want one. Not this year. Maybe next year. Keep your eyes peeled. Global Media says, 3 podcasts for tuners. Real Tuners Radio. Power and Speed. As long as it doesn't have Voldemort on it. And do it for a living. I'll check them out. Red X-Ray, Gen 3 LQ9 math and VE tables perfect on the wideband. Going back to closed loop, I'm reading lean. Make sure that you reset your long-term fuel trims, Red X-Ray. Hey, 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 Pomonastilo. P-O-M-O-N-A-S-T-I-L-O. I'm sure there's a way of pronouncing that. Steven says, any suggestions for areas to focus on most in the O1 area, Silverado? 5-3. O1 area. What do you mean by O1 area? You talking about the year? Yeah, James, I don't care. Oh, so yeah, so you're getting reduced engine power. You're going to have to solve this problem. But as I said, what platform are you on? Because if it's not the right drive-by-wire throttle, if it's not an inverted and it's supposed to be an inverted, or if it's an inverted and it's not an inverted ECM, you might be hosed. Help me out, people. Demonic says, finally started my truck by scaling the injectors, but still having trouble with idle. Sometimes it works perfect for a while, but then it starts oscillating after it works fine. Watch your timing, Demonic. See what your timing's doing. Make sure that it's not fighting your airflow corrections for your idle. Scuba Sam, I want the C8 intake to see if it'll fit in my car. Interesting. I hadn't even thought about that yet. John, I am super excited. I'm excited about the nitrous, but I'm more excited about the snow performance that boost cooler number 4, stage 4, or whatever, that has the standalone ECM basically. I think it's going to be pretty dope. I'm anxious to get that thing on the Silverado. There's a good chance I'm going to be running the LT4 Methlid that they have. So I'm going to try and run that direct injection methanol setup on the Silverado. Speedy CPU, or actually, let me not skip Jeremy here. With the virtual torque table on Gen 5, is important for the air mass map to be exact or close as far as the torque. Yeah, you want to be close. Jeremy, I've got a lot of videos going over that. Check them out. Follow up with me if you have any questions. But yeah, you want it to be close because the virtual torque table is what will end up closing your throttle and pulling timing if you exceed the values in there. The C8 Grand Sport with a massive Whipple would be great. Might be hard to fit since there isn't a lot of room for the pulley. You know what? I think there might be enough room for something like that. And I've talked to some people about the twin setup that they're developing for the C8s. Going to be an interesting approach. Let's just say you're going to lose some trunk space. It's good to know, John. Good to know that the live stream's starting in 30 minutes. 92 LSC kid. I'll have to check out the one from Comp because that would be an interesting learn. L77 from the Capri stock throttle body though. Though I did swap. Have you tried doing a relearn throttle body cleaning, RC? Do the throttle body cleaning stuff. See if that does anything. Is there a separate spark map for PE? No, not generally. It's going to be your main spark map. That's all right, Josh. That's a little known video though. But I'm glad that somebody asked the question. Josh asked about generating a volumetric efficiency table from the MAF. It is kind of crazy, and it is not 100% accurate by any means. So. JD says, what's the deal with Keith from HP Tuner saying you can log 100 PIDs? Depends on the platform, JD. Theoretically, you should be able to, and if you slow down the polling rate on the PIDs, if you go in and right-click on them and slow the polling rate down to where they're not polling at 10 times a second or something like that, you can load up a lot more PIDs. I've touched about it a little bit in the past, but why would you want to log 100 PIDs, though? Justin Brown says, any advice on how to keep IATs down? Methanol injection. Pomo asks, is it normal to idle at 14 degrees timing? Yes. Completely normal to idle at 14 degrees timing, especially on Gen 4, Gen 3 stuff. James Taylor, if you post a link, it'll pop up and I or Zeth will approve it. Zero asks, how does cylinder volume setting affect the tune? Now, on some tunes, Zero, it doesn't do anything. I have done this on one of the test and tune series. It depends on the ECM, but some of them, it is going to be part of the constants for fueling calculations. I can't tell you which one's which, but... Hey, 325, have a good one, man. Appreciate you stopping by. No worries, Chevy for life. Thanks for stopping by. Chevy, I probably have. I've been tied up, so I've not been able to get to as many emails as possible, but I'll try and get them checked out. RC, have you tried a different throttle body? Hey, Nick, what's going on? Drop Top Performance, do you have any experience with Dodge? A little bit, but not a whole lot. I've worked on some or helped some other people work on some stuff. Drop Top, you have any specific question? DZ says, is it new from AutoZone? Just got a bad one from there. Yeah, Zero, I did the, on that video, I built the SD tune from the math and had to make some adjustments specifically to make the math work out, but it was close enough to get the truck fired up and start SD tuning, so. Rokon says, watch Cleus's video on the C8 and they thought there wasn't enough room for the supercharger. Man, you know, I saw it last weekend and it looked like there would be. Now, as I said, anything that's going to be mounted to the accessory stuff, that might be an issue, but nothing that a cutoff wheel won't fix. That's not on all of them, though, 92. That is ECM dependent. James, I'm not seeing it, man. It may just be kicking it straight out. Sorry. Izzy, I don't do stuff over the phone, really. I've got the option to do one-on-one video chats, but other than that, the Patreon's the best thing to check out. $15 a month gets you email access for all the questions you could ever want. You can get there through goatropegarage.com. Mike Littleoff, I have personally not used Boosting products, but I have had other people use Boosting that was having issues with knocking, and it solved it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Biker Boy says on the E40 when you switch cylinder volume, it makes no changes at all. Hey, Jorge, welcome back, brother. Have a good one, Chevy for life. Yeah, RC, man. Honestly, what I would do, RC, is go look up the documentation. If you have to, go through Tech Connect, pay the $20 for 3 days access. Look up the documentation for the platform that will show you specifically what the voltages need to be for the throttle body for the TPS system, because you're looking at the TPS system, which is kind of generally a separate thing. That will show you how things need to line up in order for it to work properly. I've run into the same issue multiple times. And luckily, I ran into the same issue on Project Country Club whenever I went over to the Holly, because I had the wrong throttle body style set up on that, because they changed the way that the voltage to percentage reads. There's 4 different variants that I know of out there. There's TJ. So Red X-Ray says cylinder volume does change the VE on a P01. That was the other thing I was thinking, Fast Days. Maybe there's some connector issues. Oh, Jeremy. Oh. $50 burnout. Shut it down. Jeremy won the internet tonight. Thank you, brother, for the support. I appreciate it. Good turnout tonight. We're at 83. I don't know if you can hear the dogs outside whining because I didn't let them out before we started the stream up. Shame on me. Jeff, you laugh, though. I'm getting ready to not do PDR and actually just sand the crap out of it and start throwing some Bondo. Not on the truck. I'm going to do it on the wife's hood. Zach says, what up? I'm tuning my LS3 and the fuel trims are going 20 to 20 during idle, but driving goes 0, 0. can definitely be an exhaust leak, Zach. If you are getting crazy trims like that at idle, you have a higher chance of sucking some oxygen in on there and throwing things into a weird situation. But make sure that you're not just super rich at idle also, because it can cause it to fluctuate from positive to negative. Hey, Bill, welcome back, brother. Good to see you. Pomo, listen, man, you're just going to have to go back and watch them multiple times. It will start to sink in over time. Trust me. That, too, what Atomic says. Make sure you're watching the correct generation, because if the information doesn't line up, it can be even more confusing. Jorge, still having issues with lean on Excel. What do you mean by in park? Thank you, Zach. Jeremy, good timing for a Gen 5 at idle is whatever the hell it wants. I mean, it can be 0, 10 degrees. It can be -5. The Gen 5s, because they're torque-based, will do what it wants to do. And you can chase your tail and fight it. Trying to get the idle up like you would on a Gen 4, especially on cams. If you're trying to get 10, 15, 20, you're not getting 20 degrees on Gen 5. But if you're trying to get 15 degrees at idle on a Gen 5, man, you're going to be fighting yourself. Anthony Arbino says, if I'm driving and coast to a stop from any speed, my truck doesn't die, but when I'm backing out of the drive and quick blip of the gas, the truck will die. What area should I look at for this? It's a good question. Good question. Look at your speed density table. Are you still running speed density? Sounds like a transient issue. Check your speed density. Make sure that your fueling is staying correct without going rich or lean. Oh, 142-pound injectors, Jorge. Come on now, man. That's a lot of fuel. Yeah, dude. Sign up. Send me your logs. Send me your tune. I'd like to check it out. 92 LSC says, once you learn Gen 3 and Gen 4, throw it all away and learn Gen 5. Stick to Gen 4. Interesting. Paul H. says that he had correlation issues, and it was the map sensor. Could be throttle follower. You're right, John, based on the year. Issues like that, those small issues, man, there's a million things, but usually it's always something simple. It's just digging through the settings and finding what affects it. Yeah, Jeremy, if you're getting it up to 8 degrees, you're doing pretty good. Gerhard, oh, brother. Oh, no, I don't have it on. I thought I had my Holden shirt on. Everybody, let's take a moment of silence for the passing of Holden, one of my favorite brands. GM, what are you doing to me? You're killing me, guys. Oh, what a sad day. What a sad day. No more Utes, no more Commodores, no more Moneros. Who knows what they're going to do about Australian Supercar? Oh, sorry, Gerhard's from Austria. Nonetheless. Good call. Hello to Gerhard, also from Austria. But, Easy Speed, what's going on? Easy Speed, the hats, there was only 10 of those made. There are no more hats, but we will be making a new set of hats here soon. I promise they will be on the website. I will let you guys know. Oh, I know, man. First Pontiac, now Holden. Jeremy, whenever you want to start meth injection, yeah, basically you got to do the airflow stuff from scratch again. And then, of course, you can get a little more timing because you're running meth injection. So it's a good chance to go through the steps. But once your tune's squared away and you're going over to meth injection, it goes pretty quick. It's just like adding fuel. So sad. So sad. This guy's got about 4.5 minutes left on the raffle. If you've not already signed up for the raffle, use !raffle to grab a ticket and join on up. Probably, give a couple merch packs away. We're doing merch packs. We'll give a couple merch packs away tonight. Super excited. I'm doing a remote tune for somebody in Iceland. Yeah, James, I love the G8s, and now I'm kind of on the fence on whether or not I need to go out and find another GTO. I really miss my GTO. Part of me is kicking myself in the butt for getting the XLR instead of a GTO, but I love the XLR because it's just so damn weird. Such a weird car. Such a pain in my butt, but might have to find a GTO before the end of the year. I need a bigger garage is what I need. Yeah, no kids. Are you giving away CTSVs, Anthony? Dirt Floor, what platform? We're doing HP tuners for remote tune. But, I mean, you're on a Terminator, so if you want help, by all means. Like you need it. Have I seen the Gale Banks iDash? It logs manifold air density. I was trying to figure out the math to do that calculation. Any ideas? Not off the top of my head, but man, there's always a way to work the math backwards. Oh, I loved my GTO. I got rid of it to get my C6, and I wish I hadn't have. I loved my C6, don't get me wrong, but JCD, say thanks for the great info. I couldn't get the wideband reading through the EGR wire, but was able to... Oh, cool, got it hooked up through the SATA cable. Perfect, the serial style. Yeah, Mr. Black, you're right. Oh, the remote tune for the guy in Iceland is a... Man, it's a big off-road truck. They said the thing weighs almost 8,000 pounds, has like 36-inch tires on it or something. It's crazy. 6-liter, I believe. I haven't dove into it yet. He uses his sensor called the Air Mouse. It has everything, pressure, temp, humidity. Yeah, RC, you can send them over to the info@goatropegarage.com. Might take me a while to get back to you. As I said, I've got to take care of some Patreon stuff first. Patrons get first dibs on my time, obviously, because they are my #1 supporters. Well, you're right, John. You're right. I've worked with some people in Iceland, and a lot of the crazy stuff that they're doing over there, man. Had a guy with a Jeep with a 6-liter swap in it and a turbo that was making like 700 horsepower. Crazy. Bill Sway says, if you do one of those pre-canned mods to give you better power or economy, does it cause any problems with the catalytic converter getting too hot? It should not, Bill. It should still have the enrichment on there. So I wouldn't think that it would cause an issue. Do your research though. Check out the forums because there's plenty of people that's going to be running the pre-canned stuff. But also do your research and see if the pre-canned ones that you're looking at actually make any power, because a lot of those don't actually make power. Jeremy says, what do you run for a low side pump on your truck? Jeremy, I have Aeromotive set up. Can't remember which one off the top of my head. Phantom, blah, 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 blah. I've got some videos out there, Jeremy. I run an Aeromotive fuel cell with a Phantom fuel pump in it, but I'm still running it with a fuel pump controller, so it works in PWM, so it actually will adjust fuel pressure properly. Works great. A 3-inch water pump to use as a fuel pump for my race car, Bill. The Mac says, I have a 2014 Chevy SS. Well, throw a code on if I put ARH headers and ARH exhaust system with cats. It should not, but there's always the chance that it will throw a cat efficiency code. That's something else that you might want to ask on the forums, the Mac, to see if other guys have had experience with it. Because there's a good chance if it's high flow cats that it might throw a cat efficiency. Thanks, Zeth. I appreciate it as always, brother. Oh, hey, let's do the drawing here. And Michael Bell, you are our first winner. And Hillary, you are our second winner. Yay! Michael and Hillary, congratulations, you two. Send me your information to the info@goatropegarage.com email. Say, I am one of the merch pack winners for this week. And if you were a merch pack winner last week, they have not gone out yet. As I said, I'd get more merch in to send you guys. But yeah, send me an email with your address. I will be doing some shipments this week. There will be a lot of packages going out. That's always fun. I've blown a catalytic converter or two out myself, Outwood, so. Yeah, Phil, no problem. Matt, what codes do I need to delete when I delete my cats? You need to delete the rear, any of the ones that are the rear O2 sensors, delete them before you delete your cats, though. Because if you try to do it afterwards, you will set a permanent code that you cannot clear. So delete the codes first. Aw, thanks, Hillary. You guys are the best. You and DZ always here every week. James, oddly enough, my RX-7 was one of them that gutted its cat itself also, but it was with a rotary. Dude, permanent codes are the worst. Atomic, have you tried to use SPS to rewrite the ECM, then delete the codes? Because that should be probably the only way that you can get rid of permanent codes, short of solving the problem and going through so many drive cycles. Steelers 743, you should be able to pull the tune unless they locked it. Some will lock it, but if they are a good shop, they will not lock it. Phil, yes, it is perfectly fine to turn off DOD before physically removing it on the Gen 4. Patrick, good question. Is the Holley Terminator going to come out with support for water methanol injection? Honestly, I do not know. That being said, there might be some workarounds that you could use to get water and methanol injection to work through the nitrous tables. That's something I'll look at. Now, granted, I'm getting ready to use my nitrous tables for nitrous, but theoretically, you could almost set up a methanol injection solenoid off the nitrous tables and then use the existing tables in the Holley Terminator to actually control that side of it. RC, as I said, if you use the SPS and re-download the config for the ECM, that should clear out the permanent codes as long as you go in and disable them before you start the vehicle. Once you start the vehicle, it will set the permanent codes. You might even have to do it on the bench. It's not anything I've played with, but in theory, as far as just clearing them, they cannot be cleared at all. Permanent codes cannot be cleared. They have to be cleared through drive cycles, multiple cold start drive cycles, after the problem has been solved. They are a pain. James, are you still running the DoD lifters, or have you replaced your lifters? Well, gentlemen and ladies, it is 9 o'clock. Time to do the wrap up here. So I want to thank all of the new patrons out there. If you're interested in becoming a patron, getting tuning support, check out GoatRopeGarage.com. There's a link right at the top of the website that'll take you to the Patreon. $15 a month gets you email support. $75 will get you an hour of one-on-one video chat with me where we can go over things specifically to your, and you don't have to do it all at once. 80 drive cycles. There you go. Blah. On top of it, watch the videos, like the videos, comment the videos. Appreciate it, everybody. Hillary, come on now. Yeah, like the videos, comment the videos. Support those who support the garage. ADM Performance, Snow Performance, Nitrous Express. Exactly. ABT, always be tuning. Thank you as always, everybody that takes the time to show up to the live show. Rudy, the $500 gets you mail order tunes. I literally do the tuning for you. You have to do the logging, stuff like that. It is a long, drawn out process. If you have more questions about mail order tunes, shoot me an email at info@GoatRopeGarage. I can get more in depth on it there. Easy Speed says, I have an 08 Z06. Does anybody else see a no fob detected when they're disconnecting their HP tuners? Yeah, Easy Speed. My XLR has the same anti-theft system as your Z06. That's normal. And what it is because it's the same reason why you'll see things like ABS and stuff like that. You are interrupting communications from the ECM to the rest of the systems, and it gets a little bit wonky and gets mad at you for doing that. And so the RC, whatever, the door security system, the you know, what they replace the ignition switch stuff with on the C6s and stuff, that system loses communication for a second, and that's why that happens. Totally normal. Brian, awesome. Glad to hear you are tuning because of me. Keep on tuning. ABT, always be tuning. Everybody have a great weekend. Swing by next Thursday. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Thank you for putting up with the issues tonight. Hopefully YouTube gets it all sorted out before next Thursday so we don't run through this again. RCDL. Thank you, Biker Boy. RCDL module. Remote control door locks is what it's called. But it is the one that the key fob actually works for on the C6s. That's what your key fob is talking to, is the RCDL. Good question, though. Yeah, steering and traction control freaks out. It's general. Thanks, Rudy. Appreciate it. As I said, everybody have a great weekend.